I'm eating this kind of stuff.
What do you think about Anthony Yarde being ordered to fight Kovalev?
I haven't seen a lot of, is it Yarde?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of them. I've seen them against, lower competition, so it's hard to get a read. I need to see you against a top contender or another, current champion or a former champion. I haven't seen that yet, so I can't really speak on Yarde. I think he's got athleticism. I'm not a fan of the bulk because I know how that can go in a tough fight. That blood starts to fill up in those muscles, and we'll see a totally different guy. And nobody's exempt. That's not a good build, for a boxer at any weight class. He was able to get away with it. But he's the exception, not the rule, Timothy. So I'm not a fan of that, but I think he's got a lot of skill. For a big man, he moves good, so, he's got a shot.
Pretty upset Kovalev?
It's possible, but it's not going to be easy. He's going to have to walk through some fire to get it. If he's willing to do that, and if he can't do that, it's possible for sure. It's possible. It won't be easy.
Seeing that you're performing very well in the weight class, Canelo's entertaining the idea of coming up to...
Canelo don't want this smoke. Not this smoke. He don't want it.
Is there a reason why he chose Sergey Kovalev as opposed to you and all that?
Yeah, because he's seeing the chinks in his armor. He see the chinks in his armor.
How do you think the Yarde and Sergey fight? What's your knowledge and expertise?
I don't think it's going to be that hard for Sergey. Yarde ain't fight nobody like him, period.
Anthony Yarde, you announced yesterday his fight with Sergey Kovalev for August 24th in Russia. How pleased is it? Is it a relief just to get that announcement out of the way? It's been a long time coming.
We've been working on it for a long, long time now, and eventually we got it over the line, and it's on. And it's a tough fight for Anthony going into Kovalev's own backyard. It's his own city or town that we're going into. And as I say, but that's what it tells you a lot about Anthony, that the fact he's willing to do that and the belief he's got in himself.
Kovalev is a different proposition, in my opinion, to Lebedev. Although he's towards the end of his career, he is definitely on the downslide of his career. The problem with Yarde is, and this has been why his matchmaking's been poor, they've never boxed anyone even top 15 in the world or with that ability, right? So how do you go from Travis Reese or whatever his name, Reeves, to Kovalev? The answer is you don't. And Frank knows that. Like Frank, for all his downsides, what he does know is he knows boxing, and he does know how to develop a fighter to the top. He's been doing it a long time. He knows Yarde shouldn't be boxing Kovalev. But unfortunately, they've avoided the domestic route and gone this WBO European. They've kept defending it, and now they find themselves mandatory for Kovalev. So what do you do? If he don't take the fight, he's going to look terrible, and everyone's going to say, what are you doing? What has been the point? Because he says, we're not worried about the British domestic, Jose Burton, who cares about that? We're going down the WBO route, right? Well, you've done it, and now you're there. So take the fight. You can't just listen to a trainer saying, well, that fight's got to be at Arsenal with us as the A side, or it ain't happening. You might as well just say, we're not taking the fight. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see what they do. I don't necessarily even blame them for not taking the fight, but after everything they've said and done, they should take the fight, because you can't say we're going down the world ranking routes instead and then get there and get your shot and then say no. But this is where they should have boxed Jose Burton, Joshua Buatsi, and if you can beat those guys, then you're ready for Kovalev.
So if he doesn't take that fight, do you reckon his popularity will go down?
Get crushed. It will kill his profile, and it will kill his credibility. And I won't even blame Tunde and Yarde, because they haven't had the right fights, but they're there, and they've said this is what they want to do. So now they're going to have to do it.
The news broke out Anthony Yarde's actually flying out to Russia. A date has been set for August 24th, if I'm correct, to fight Sergey Kovalev for the world title. Give me your thoughts on that fight. How do you see that fight playing out?
My thoughts on that fight is all talks must stop now, for the mere fact that he's taken the fight and the fight's happening. So no one can now say, oh, he's not fighting good people, or he's wasting time, he's doing this, he's doing that. That's my sole opinion on it, period. How the fight's going to go, don't know. I'll watch it. But like I said, all talks must stop now, because they've taken the fight and the fight is apparently happening. So until the fight happens or after the fight, I might have more opinions, but as of now, like I said, all opinions must stop, and credit to them, they're taking the fight.
next week it's the fight with Sergey Kovalev and Anthony Yarde in Russia.
Was it next week?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe it's next week, a week or two. Have you kind of had a breakdown of that fight?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, when I was in England, I had the pleasure of meeting Yarde.
Yes.
I met his trainer, one of the guys that trains him. So we had a long talk. And listen, I make it a point for everybody that fights Kovalev. I tell them, listen, you want to win, go to the body. I watch Yarde, and I like certain things that he does, certain things I don't like that he does. And, I told him they have to be prepared. Sergey's on the downward climb. Still champ, but he's on the downward. His best days are behind him. He's been getting in trouble a lot, doing stupid stuff on the outside. How hungry is he? How much hunger is left in him? Now, Yarde's young. He's hungry, but he has to be smart. I watched him. Certain things that he does wrong. Certain things that he does right.
What are some of the things he does wrong, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, man, listen. I'm not gonna listen. I won't get into that right now. Hey, listen, it's a fight for him to win. He can win the fight. He's aggressive sometimes. And he boxes sometimes. He just has to have the game plan right for that fight. His trainer and I talked. And like I told his trainer, I said, listen.
Nah, I'm driving the back.
I see your guy likes to box a little bit, but he has to pressure Sergey. He can box him if he can stay within his fight plan. Early on, Sergey's going to be tough. Listen, the last thing to leave a puncher is his punch. So Sergey still has the punch. He still has the power. So you can never take that from him. You definitely can't. Even though I say he's on the downward climb of his career, he's still dangerous. So when you get in the ring with him, if he hits you, he might be lights out. Yarde has to be on top of his game, defensively and offensively.
If I'm not mistaken,
I won't get into his shortcomings defensively. There's a few, and it's too late to change him anyway. If the fight's next week, you said he's going to do what he does. It's a winnable fight for him, but he has to be. I said for the first three to 5 rounds, leery of Sergey's power. That's going to be the last thing that leaves Sergey is his power. Sergey he's not the best inside. He doesn't do the best inside work. His body is weak from drinking, all that stuff. The stupid stuff he does outside the ring. Yarde has to go on the inside and get to the body. Keep that. Sergey, he's a good puncher, but he relies on long distance. That's where the power comes from. So you have to close that gap. And you can't let Sergey punch you from that distance because he's vicious. This guy definitely have to get on the inside and work Sergey, work that body early. You'll get him late. You might get him midway. It's a 50-50 fight because you don't know how good Yarde can really be because he hasn't been tested. We don't know how much of a decline Sergey has. He started to decline, but how deep in that decline is he? How hungry is he still as a fighter? He's made his money. He's come to America, had a good life. Is he really hungry anymore? So weird to see because he didn't. You have to say this. You have to look at it. He didn't work his way back into his title shot. He was given the title right away. So how hungry is he? He didn't have 3 or 4 good fights fighting journeymen or guys right there, top-notch contenders to earn that shot. So Yarde has to make him answer that question. If he can get close to Sergey, he can box from the outside because Ward did it. But eventually you got to get on the inside and make him work. And if you get inside of Sergey and work the body, then your chances are great of victory. Right now, I would still call it a 50-50 fight.